Hi, this is Linda Welsh from Linda Welsh Realty Group. Welcome. I would love to talk to you a little bit about some strategies to put your homes on the market, and then again for buyers on finding properties that might not be visible to you through some of the portals. So first we're going to talk to sellers on why you may want to consider something that we often do, which is called a three-phase marketing strategy. So the three-phase marketing strategy includes a period of time to have your property on a private exclusive network. This may include just the network that is within our company, which we have a whole lot of agents in our company. So it's visible to all the agents in the company, but it's also visible to every client, every buyer searching through our portals and working with a Compass agent. So the reasons to do this for a seller are, number one, to price test the market. Sometimes sellers are not, and even their agents are not exactly sure where to price a property. And we would like to get more feedback, especially if there aren't a lot of comparable sales, to see where the best and optimal pricing will bring the most amount of buyers to your property, to view the property online or to come and visit it in person. So the other thing that is a big advantage here is you're not accruing any days on market when this is happening. At the same time, there are some other private networks, depending on the price point of your property and where you're located. Different areas could have different properties, but here in Austin, Texas, we have a few private networks that are only visible to subscribers, and those subscribers are other agents who subscribe, not the visible public. And the other reason that you might want to consider it, Mr. Seller, on putting your property on a private network is because buyers oftentimes are looking to buy properties off market. And the reason they want to do this is, number one, they want to have an opportunity to get there first, if possible. And they know that they're working with a really competent realtor. And the sellers know that the people who are coming through their home are actually represented by somebody who's really knowledgeable and really knows the market, and not just every looky-loo who's out there looking for decorating ideas or looking at homes or even going to open houses for homes that they don't or can't afford. So there's a privacy issue, there's a safety issue, and this allows us time. Sometimes people put their properties on private networks for a week or 2 weeks, and sometimes they actually prefer us to keep it on that market because it's a highly exclusive property, or they are pretty visible in their field or their specialty. Maybe they're a celebrity, or maybe they are somebody who works in law enforcement or in law or or is a doctor or something, and they really want that exclusivity and protection that they're just not opening their doors to everybody that wants to come through. So if you're considering a private network listing, let us know. We can talk to you about that. In between doing your private exclusive listing, if you are planning to go to MLS eventually, we do have a coming soon period, and that coming soon period is typically 1 day. And during that period of time, it's searchable through our portal website with our company, but then a day later, it's going to go into MLS. Once it goes into MLS, it's going to start accruing time on the market, and any price point reductions at that point are going to be visible to other agents. So a price reduction is probably always best to be done before it hits the MLS, although we do see something like 40 to 50% of listings actually do get reduced in price before they're sold. So also keep in mind, when you have statistics that show, for instance, that a home sells on average at 97% of list price or 98% of list price, what that's not taking into consideration is the fact that there may have been 2, 3, or 4 price reductions before it got to that list price. And therefore, the sold price might end up being 80% of the original list price, but that's not going to show in the stats that your realtor may give you when they say, oh, my average sold price is 98% of list price. Well, that's the list price when it's sold, not the original list price. So make sure when you're talking to realtors, either because you're working as a buyer or as a seller, that you're getting more accurate information. Statistics are great because they're accurate numbers, but they also can be construed in different ways and mean different things to different people. So now we're going to talk about why buyers would like to buy something that's off market. Couple of different reasons. Number one is there is a misconception that they may be saving some money because maybe I'm not using a realtor, so I'm going to save some money. Well, at the end of the day, even if you're buying a for sale by owner house, the reason the for sale by owner is trying to put it on that marketplace is because he wants to save money, and the buyers who are searching there, they want a bargain. So when somebody is coming through and purchasing something on a for sale by owner, they may not have the scrutiny over all of the disclosures. Certainly, there's a safety factor from letting people in your home that you don't know and who aren't represented. There may also be forms that you're really required to provide, Mr. Seller. And if you're not providing all those forms, then you're not doing your required disclosures. And for a buyer, if you're not aware of that, if you don't know the things to look for, then you're also kind of behind the eight ball because you're not really confident in all the information that you're getting, that it's accurate and that it's timely. The other reasons buyers like to buy off market, particularly in a state like Texas, is that we're a non-disclosure state. So if you buy something off market, it is not going to be public knowledge on what you paid for your home. This will not be public with your county tax records. It will not be public with your friends and family or even other realtors. Nobody's really going to know what you paid for that property unless they have firsthand knowledge. This could monetarily help a buyer, and because their taxes may be lower. And if their taxes are lower and there are more people that are interested in purchasing off market, this is a reason why sellers may want to do it as well, because they know that they're going to attract more buyers. The other reason that people like to buy off market is a lot of times you'll get investors or flippers who want to buy a house that maybe is not in perfect condition, needs a lot of updating, and they're probably going to make an offer, a quick sale, probably a cash offer at somewhere between 60 and 70% of ARV, which means after repair value. And once they purchase that home, which now is not visible on the sale price, they're going to do all the things they can to pretty it up. They're going to replace flooring and maybe cabinets and roof and paint the exterior, etc., and then they're going to put it back on the market. Now, if nobody knows what he pays for it, then he can, maybe pocket a little bit more profit. So we see a lot of people contact us, a lot of investors who contact us and say, hey, do you have anything off market that we can look at and that we can make an offer on? So I hope that can answer some questions for you on the advantages of the three-phase marketing strategy, which includes private exclusives and other off-market portals, as well as coming soon. And then lastly, going on MLS. One last thing I wanted to mention, and that is the search engines. So the search engines, for instance, Zillow, they're in the business of selling leads. So when you have your property on MLS, if it is shared with Zillow, and not all of them are, by the way, but if it is shared with Zillow, what they are doing is they are selling that lead to lots of agents and getting a lot of money off of that. And then they're actually encouraging buyers to make low offers based on nothing more than just an algebraic equation or some other factor. When in fact, if you haven't seen the home and you don't know the value and the things that have been done to it and the upgrades and how recent the systems are, is probably going to be very inaccurate. And the information that they give you even about the assessed value is also going to be inaccurate because, as I mentioned, we're a non-disclosure state. So the assessed value is not accurate, and they call that a zestimate. In states like Texas, where we are a non-disclosure state, Zestimate is not valid at all. So please keep that in mind if you're ever on those websites. They're in the business of creating leads and creating income based off of selling your information and the listing to other agents, and then they will put other agents' names next to your property who know nothing about your property. So I highly encourage you to consider also looking at other portals. We would love to have you come to compass.com or our website, which is lindawelshrealtygroup.com, when you search for properties, and maybe even homes.com, which will show you who the listing agent is, and you can get firsthand knowledge about the property. Again, this is Linda Welsh from Linda Welsh Realty Group, and I'd love to help you with your home. Please give us a call.